can you all see if I'm over? Actually, I probably want to go back toward the middle. Is it okay to erase this?
Mm-hmm.
Since I know these are not. Actually, some of these are, should be on your handout from last week. So, alright, so I can actually put this hand in the middle of the board. So, I think if you see a full hand, you'll get to see how this really shakes out with leading trump. And I'm going to put you in the west seat, and you're going to end up on opening lead with this hand. Again, I believe this specific hand, I think, down to the spot card, I think is right out of the book. Okay.
Can you get that on Amazon?
You know, I haven't checked recently. It has been on Amazon in the past. So you should still be able to get it there. If not, check Baron Barclay.
eBay.
Or eBay, yeah.
It
Yeah.
is on Amazon.
Okay, I was pretty sure, yeah, because the one thing, there's some very good bridge books that were written in the past that at times have gone out of print and you couldn't get them, but this one I think has stayed in print all along. So, okay, so this is you on opening lead, and we'll give you that same auction that we just looked at here. The opponents open a spade, get a forcing no trump. Opener says 2 diamonds, and responder checks the table. Okay, we're good here. This is as high as we want to be. All right. So they took a weak preference. They took that preference by passing. If they went back to 2 spades, you know, that would also be a weak preference of sorts, in which case we'd know that they had a doubleton, but this is a slightly different kind of weak preference. So you are on lead with this hand. Now you're looking at the king of spades sitting over the spade bidder, right? So you figure that king of spades might be a winner if it doesn't get roughed out in the dummy, right? So this is the kind of situation that calls for a trump lead. Now here we might actually, so this is your diamond holding. Now what a lot of people are tempted to do here is to lead an unbid suit, right? They've heard spades and diamonds and they think, oh, well, I need to lead a heart or I need to lead a club. But if you do that, you're going to make declarer's job easier. And remember, opener didn't jump shift or anything, right? So opener probably has a fairly minimal hand, and we know the dummy's going to be weak. So that means partner's going to have a few cards too, right? It's safe to put a few cards in partner's hand, but this will become more clear when we see the dummy. So this is a good situation for leading trump, and the next question is, all right, well, which one? Actually, here, either way will work. I would lead small, but if you led the ace and then another, that would also work okay here too.
Definitely do pull it twice.
Yeah, if you lead the ace and another, you can draw 2 rounds of trump right away. So that has that benefit. On the other hand, as long as you or your partner can get in fairly soon, you can then, even if you have started with your 3 of trump, as soon as you get in or as soon as partner gets in, you can win the ace of diamonds and then play your 3rd trump. So if you even if you don't do it now, you'll probably get an opportunity soon to lead 2 more rounds. There actually is a pretty specific reason that I like small with this particular holding. By the way, if I had ace doubleton, I would lead the ace and another. But because I have ace 3rd, I want to lead small. Does anybody know what I have in mind here?
Maybe count? No?
Count's probably not going to end up being that important for the defense here.
Okay.
If we're pretty confident that we want to lead trump at every opportunity, then we're just going to do that regardless of count. So
Might you be able to promote the 9?
we probably won't promote the 9. It's possible. We'd need partner to have pretty good diamonds to do that. So we don't expect partner to have the king of diamonds, but what if partner had king doubleton? If partner had king doubleton of diamonds, that would be a great holding for us to draw 3 rounds of trump. But we couldn't start with the ace, right? If we bang down the ace and then we let a small one, partner would win the second round of diamonds with the king, but the last trump would be in our hand and we couldn't draw one more round. So that's I'm guarding against that situation. That's why I like the small one here. All right, so let's have you lead a small trump. And dummy is going to show up with something that hopefully makes you that much happier that you led trump. So enough to respond, right? 7 points, 5-card heart suit, but a hand clearly not good enough to bid 2 hearts. So you have to start with your no trump. All right, well, I don't love this hand, but I have enough to respond. I got a bid. So you bet a no trump. And your plan is, you're pretty much thinking you're probably going to pass whatever your partner does next, right? Partner rebids 2 spades, you're done. If partner rebids a minor, 2 clubs or 2 diamonds, you're done. Partner bids 2 hearts, you would like the hand better. And maybe you'd want to give a little courtesy raise just because you have 5 hearts. But you're pretty much done, right? You're like, well, let's just find our best spot. Well, when partner comes back 2 diamonds, you may not love it, but it's better than spades, right? Okay, so you pass, right? And there's this singleton spade. Now your partner has some important spades here too. Your partner has queen 10 and 9. So these spades are starting to look like winners if we can take away dummy's trumps, right? Because we know that declare has 5 spades. They've got to do something with that spade suit. All right, well, yeah, I mean, here they are in their 7-card fit, but there's really nowhere better to play on this hand. Maybe 1 no would be okay, I don't know. I don't think 1 no would be any picnic. Not that we could play there, because our 1 no is forcing, but even if you had a non-forcing 1 no, I don't know that it would be the world's greatest contract. So why don't we look at, how do we think the play is going to go here? Okay, well, you're going to lead a trump. Well, you could win the trump in either hand, I guess, right? It's not going to matter a whole lot. Suppose you could put up the queen. That way, when you do your roughing, you're roughing with your small ones and not roughing with your honors, which might promote a 9 or an 8, so for the opponent. So yeah, so let's go ahead and put up the queen. Righty didn't have the ace because they didn't have cover, so we know the person who led. Yeah, if righty had the ace, they would win the ace and return it, right? So, okay, so you're on the dummy with the diamond. Well, before you let the opponents back in to start leading trumps, you probably want to get a spade roughed, right?
Oh, yeah.
So we can start with that. All right, spade, spade, ace. All right, small spade, small, rough. All right, it's going okay so far. Dummy's got 1 trump left. The jack, 8, 7 of spades are not winners. You want to rough another spade. If you want to rough a spade, you have to be in your hand, South. Well, how are you going to do that? How are you going to get back to your hand? Well, you could get back with a diamond, but then you can't rough a spade, right? Because then Dummy's last trump would be gone. All right, well, what am I going to do? I'm desperate. All right, I'm going to lead a heart toward my king and hope that the ace is over here and that they duck it. Then I can rough another spade. That's the plan, right? Okay, heart, heart, king, ace. Now what? How about ace of diamonds? Taking away Dummy's last trump. Well, now you've killed all of Dummy's trumps, which is the important part. What do you do at this point? You could lead another trump, I guess. Stick declare back in their hand.
I need a club.
You could lead a club, but I think I would rather let them break that suit. I think I'd rather. When I see King 10 in the dummy, I'm a little concerned about this because I can't see the jack, I can't see the ace, queen, or jack.
Right.
I know partner's got something in that suit, but why don't we let declare deal with that suit?
So lead another diamond.
Could lead another diamond.
What about a spade?
You could lead your king of spades, although you are. If I'm not going to lead a trump, I could lead a spade since Dummy's gone, so that's fine. Maybe not a bad idea, actually, right? Get that king unblocked. Right. You're still going to end up on lead. You could lead a club if you want. So I would lead the 8. Well, I guess declare's going to duck, right? Hoping that maybe you have the queen. Small, okay, well. Partner can lead the queen. I guess partner could go ahead and cash the ace. Figure out what's going on with all these. Partner could cash the queen of spades. Because you can't rough. So what will the defense have taken here? 2 spades? Ace of hearts, 1 heart. Ace of diamonds, 2 clubs. We might be able to score one of us if we haven't played any more trumps. We might end up being able to score one of our trumps. I mean, if we cash all of our winners, declare could then eventually get in and draw the last trumps, and then the jack of spades is good. So, do we have a line to beat at 1 more? I don't know. But we've set it. We've set 2 diamonds. If you don't lead trump, they're going to make 2 diamonds. Because they're going to get another spade rough and dummy, right?
That's amazing.
And if you do something in the way of attacking, like what if you were to lead the ace of hearts? Now you really make it easy for them, right? Because you set up the king of hearts in their hand. You could lead a club. You could get away with that. But the club tricks you're entitled to are never going anywhere, right? I mean, your partner's always got ace queen sitting over the king. So. Now, it might be that you lead a trump and we flip dummies, hearts, and diamonds, and it's queen 5th of diamonds instead of queen 3rd. Okay, well, in that case, you're not preventing them from roughing whatever they need to rough. Sort of the same idea of, like, if we use a splinter bit, one of the reasons that it's really important that your splinter bid promises 4-card support for partner suit is so that you have adequate roughing. That's why we don't want to do it with only 3. Because if you splinter and the opponent's lead trump, usually it's not quite good enough to hurt us. Because they can draw one round of trump and then dummy still has 3 trumps left for us to get some losers rough. So. Probably don't want to. I have one other example, but I probably don't have time to get into it because we're in our last 10 minutes, and I am playing today. I would say, in general, I feel like people do not lead trump enough. I'm not sure, especially with that old saying being out there. I'm not sure why people are so reluctant to lead trump. But it can be right for a number of different reasons. And, we are also, sometimes you might lead trump and you shouldn't have, or you don't lead trump when you should have, because the opponents have had kind of a strange, convoluted auction, and maybe we're not working with the information that we thought we had. So, for the most part, you probably trust what's going on with your opponent's bidding, but excuse me, it might not always work out that way. It might sound like they are in a misfit. And so you lead trump because you don't want them scoring extra tricks by roughing, and then come to find out the dummy actually had good support and was just being a jerk and not supporting their partner suit. Kind of thing. You're like, well, gee, if I'd known dummy had 3 or 4 spades over there, I wouldn't have led trump. But nothing you can do about that, right? I mean, if they had an auction that sounded like they had a misfit hand, so. Any questions about stuff that we've talked about today? Active or passive defense, or cutting down roughing power? I haven't discussed it with Paul. I will today. I don't think there would be any problem with us continuing to do Thursday mornings after the holidays, after the first of the year. I hope this has been a good 8 weeks for you. I've enjoyed it.
Yes,
I hope
bravo.
it's been useful.
Loved it. Very
And
nice.
and if you want to keep going, there is no limit. There's certainly no limit to what I can talk about. So there's no limit to what we can talk about. So we have, if we want time to kind of put something together as far as material. If we want to do another 8-week series. The one thing that I think we would want to do looking ahead to the schedule is if we start something after the first of the year, I think that we would want to come up with 8 weeks of topics and schedule it for 9 weeks. And I said it only because the weather is unpredictable and we might want to build in, the intent would be go the first 8 weeks and not have a 9th week, but I'd like to have a contingency in there just in case we end up having to cancel a class.
Are we gonna try to follow the Ollie schedule, or?
I don't think there's any reason to follow the Ollie schedule. I mean, there's no particular reason, but I think it's a good starting point.
Do they use the same quarter type structure that the university at large uses?
It's trimester,
Yeah.
8 weeks.
And they-
Is it-
8 weeks.
I know that they call it trimester, yeah.
Yeah, it's 8 weeks, 8 weeks terms.
And I
Hey,
think
yeah.
the winter term starts like the third
The 14th or 15th, maybe.
week of January.
Is there a tournament in January that starts on a Thursday?
They've gotten rid of Thursdays completely at the sectionals, so it doesn't impact us. They used to do, all the Denver sectionals used to have they used to start with a Thursday night, one session event, and they scrapped it because Thursday night wasn't being that well attended, and they were having to pay for, evening rate or whatever use of the